Welcome to the deep dive. So you've given us this really interesting set of travel resources to look through this time. It's all from Arooka travel titles.
Yeah, it's basically their website showcasing a whole load of books and guides they publish.
Exactly. And they cover, well, all sorts of places and travel styles. It's quite a mix.
It really is. What jumps out straight away is just how broad it is. They're not, stuck on one particular region or type of trip.
Right. So our mission today, our deep dive, is to kind of sift through all this material and pull out the key stuff. Maybe some surprising facts, practical tips, things that might spark your own wanderlust.
Or just help with planning that next trip, whether you're actually going somewhere or just dreaming about it from your armchair.
And two places really dominate this collection, don't they? We've got loads on Canada and then a whole heap about Shanghai.
It's a fascinating contrast, actually. Vast landscapes versus a massive, buzzing city shows the range.
Okay, let's tackle Canada first then. They had this series called Real Travel Across Canada, which caught my eye.
Oh, yeah. What's the angle there?
Well, they describe it as journal-style reviews. So it sounds more personal, like someone's actual experience on the ground.
Okay, that's interesting.
And crucially, they stress that these aren't sponsored reviews and they use real photos. That feels, well, more trustworthy, doesn't it?
Absolutely. In a world full of, glossy sponsored content, that claim of authenticity is pretty significant. It suggests they're really trying to show the actual experience.
Yeah, exactly. And the list of places they cover in this series is, wow, it's huge.
Like where?
Okay, so you got places like Tuktoyaktuk, way up in the Northwest Territories, right?
No, okay. Proper Arctic travel.
Yeah, and down through the Mackenzie region, Stitchy, which apparently has some hidden yet amazing history of the Western Arctic. Then all the way to big cities like Winnipeg, Toronto, Saskatoon, Quebec City.
So a real cross-section.
Totally. And then eastward too, Peace River, Ottawa, Niagara Falls, Moncton, Montreal. And then back west again, Kelowna, Jasper, Halifax, Edmonton, Drumheller, Cape Breton Island, Central Alberta. It's like a massive road trip in book form.
What's cool there is that it's not just the obvious big hitters. Including places like Tuktoyaktuk or Drumheller suggests they're digging a bit deeper than the usual tourist trails.
Then there's this whole other set of books, also across Canada, but these are photo books focusing on specific themes.
Themes? Like what kind of themes?
Well, get this. Sky view across Canada, plants across Canada, landscapes, obviously, but also graffiti across Canada, art across Canada, animals, even airports across Canada.
Airports. Okay, that's specific.
And wait for it, malls across Canada.
Malls.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's unexpected, but maybe interesting. Malls can be weirdly revealing cultural spaces.
Right. Such a different way to slice up a country, looking through these, like, really specific lenses. Graffiti across Canada could be fascinating, too.
Yeah, it's a neat idea. It encourages you to look at Canada in ways you probably wouldn't normally think of.
And speaking of unexpected focuses, they have an entire book just on the West Edmonton Mall.
Ah, yes. The behemoth in North Alberta.
Exactly. It used to be the world's largest indoor mall, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got some pretty wild stuff inside, like the world's biggest indoor lake, a wave pool, a triple loop roller coaster.
It's practically an indoor theme park that happens to have shops. It makes sense to treat it as a destination in itself, I suppose.
Yeah, it definitely highlights that travel isn't always about mountains and nature. Sometimes it's these huge man-made environments.
Sure.
And one last thing on Canada, they list a solo traveler, prepare for the unknown e-course.
Oh, okay. So practical advice, too.
Seems like it. Helping people plan their own independent trips, which is, a big thing these days. Good to see them covering the how-tos as well as the where-to.
Yeah, that adds another dimension. It's not just inspiration, it's also about empowerment, giving you the tools to actually go.
All right, let's shift gears. Big shift, all the way over to Shanghai.
Okay.
Arooka travel titles seem to have gone deep on Shanghai. There's a really extensive set of guides just for this one city.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a major area of expertise for them. Shanghai is such a massive, dynamic city, it makes sense there'd be a lot to cover.
They've got this core series, Your Best Guide to Shanghai. There's a general tourist one, looks pretty comprehensive, about 189 pages.
That's a decent size.
But then they also have specialized ones, like a guide just for hotels and residences, and they actually mentioned it could help you save money.
That's smart. Accommodation is often a huge chunk of the budget, so focusing on value is really practical for you as a traveler.
Totally. And within that main Your Best Guide series, they even drill down into specific districts. They specifically call out Songjiang.
Songjiang. What's the focus there?
History, apparently.
Yeah.
They say it traces roots from the origins of China right up to modern times. So real historical depth.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
A contrast to the super modern image of Shanghai.
Yeah. And they mentioned specific spots within Songjiang, like Shishan, Tianma, and this place called Songjiang Newtown,
Okay.
which includes Thames Town, that replica English town,
Ah, right. I've heard of that. Bit surreal.
and also the Guangfilan Relics Park. So a mix of old and, well, imitation old.
That district-level detail is great, though. It lets you get beyond the main tourist centers and explore different facets of the city.
Then there's one called Walk Shanghai Guide, Coffee and Art. Now, this sounds brilliant.
Coffee and art. Tell me more.
It lays out walking routes, accessible by metro, that link up coffee shops and art spots. What a great concept, right?
That's fantastic. Combining two things lots of people love and making it metro-friendly is super practical for navigating a huge city like Shanghai. Very contemporary way to explore.
Definitely.
Dang.
And sticking with the coffee theme, they have 2 coffee in Shanghai books.
An entire book just on coffee. Wow, the scene must be huge there.
Seems like it. Volume 1 is the big one, apparently, looking at the whole market, reviews of different cafes. Volume 2 is interesting. It was a free online proof of concept.
Huh. So they were testing the waters. Shows how fast that scene must be moving. It really highlights Shanghai's role as this, global trend hub.
Yeah, exactly. These guides probably offer some serious insider tips for coffee lovers.
I bet.
Beyond those, there's a whole bunch of shorter, more targeted Shanghai guides.
Yeah.
Like really specific.
Okay, like what?
There's 7 days in Shanghai, itinerary-based, bonus info included. A little 36-pager called What is Cool in Shanghai.
Short and sweet.
And then Shanghai in 5 minutes, just quick summaries and photos. Shanghai quick and easy for essentials on a short trip. And even a day trip to Jinshan, with travel instructions and pictures.
It really sounds like they've thought about every possible type of visitor. Got a week, got an hour, got a specific interest. There's something for you.
Pretty much. It's a very tailored approach. And of course, visuals. Lots of photo books on Shanghai, too.
Naturally. It's such a visually striking city.
Right. There's Shanghai-opolis, promising unique views, photo tour, Shanghai, showing different architectural styles. Then they split it. Pudong in pictures for the futuristic skyline.
Right, the iconic towers and all that.
And Puxi in pictures for the older historical side.
That Pudong-Puxi contrast is fundamental to understanding Shanghai. Good they've separated them.
Yeah. And another one called Shanghai Vistas, more unique views. They also mention Shanghai as a consumer's paradise for shopping, which is definitely a visual experience in itself.
For sure. These photo books are great for getting a feel for the place before you even step on a plane.
Oh, and one more practical one, the Shanghai subway system.
Essential. Navigating public transport in a city that size can be daunting. A dedicated guide is super helpful for you.
Exactly. Makes you feel much more confident getting around.
Definitely.
Now, zooming out slightly from just Shanghai, but still related, they've got some broader China titles, too, mostly photo books, it seems.
Okay, like what?
There's a massive one, China Art 2015, 634 pages.
Whoa.
And others like China Structural Design, China Visual Design, and China Graffiti.
Ah, so thematic again, but across China.
Yeah, and interestingly, these cover places beyond Shanghai, like Shenzhen, Macau, Hong Kong as well. So you get a sense of design, art, graffiti across these major urban centers in China.
That's a great way to see the bigger picture, compare styles and trends across different but connected major cities, moving beyond just tourist sites again.
And finally, a slightly different geographical link, a book called Across the Straits to Kinmen.
Kinmen. Okay, that's intriguing. Between mainland China and Taiwan.
Exactly. The description mentions a historical trip connecting the two. Given the complex history there, that sounds like it could be a really unique travel story.
It really could. Kinmen's such a specific, historically charged place. A fascinating location to focus on for that connection.
So looking back at everything, we've covered a lot, from, the vastness of Canada, the Arctic even, right down to the specifics of Shanghai's coffee scene.
It's quite the range. And the approaches are interesting, too. Canada feels more focused on the authentic journal-style experience and thematic photo explorations.
Yeah, whereas Shanghai seems very guide-focused. Practical, specialized information for navigating this huge, complex city. Different needs, different styles of books.
Exactly. Lots of different ways to explore.
And for you listening, if you're looking to get up to speed on a place or a travel style quickly, these Arooka titles seem like a really good starting point. Whether you're planning an actual trip or just curious about, say, Canadian graffiti or Shanghai hotels.
Absolutely. They offer these various entry points for deeper exploration.
Which brings us to a final thought, maybe. Considering this huge variety we've just discussed, from Arctic Canada to Taiwanese straits, from malls to modern art, what unexpected journey might you be inspired to take next?
Yeah, maybe it's not about going to the most obvious place. Perhaps exploring something niche, like the coffee culture somewhere, or the street art, or even just taking that solo trip. What kind of exploration, physical, or maybe just through reading, feels newly possible now?
Something to think about.